Here's where we come to the fucking, you know, the thing that McKenna kept talking about. He's like, look, we don't have time to teach people to meditate anymore. People are possessed by this fucking idea. We can teach people to meditate, but first they need to get super high on a psychedelic. You know what I mean? Like there needs to be this, there's like this imperative to transform those fucking crazy thought structures that are floating around in people's heads.
What if chimpanzees, this is a fucking stupid idea, strap in, but if you listen to McKenna's idea, the stoned ape theory was that there was a period of human history that scientists are a little bit confused about, and that period is over 2 million years. The human brain doubled. And they don't know why. They really don't know. There's all sorts of thoughts, you know, like the throwing arm, like that we figured out how to throw shit and kill things that accelerated our use of tools, and the brain just kept up with what it, you know, what we needed. And then the craziest one is McKenna's idea. McKenna's idea was that it was because of mushrooms. Is that we had started coming down off the trees because the climate was changing, and that the rainforests were receding into grasslands, and that these animals flipped over these cow patties looking for worms and shit that they would eat, and then they found the mushrooms on the top and they started eating the mushrooms, and then they started experiencing enlightenment, they started having creative ideas, they started developing language.
McKenna's idea of the proto-hominids chomping on those mushrooms was that it happened, of course, over a long time.
2 million years.
2 million years, because because mushrooms at low doses. This is the other thing he mentioned in his theory is mushrooms at low doses, man. They're great for fucking, dude. Mm-hmm. They're great for having sex. They really it's if you take the right dose, it's an aphrodisiac, man.
Yes. Yeah.
So like his idea was,
It also improves visual acuity.
In the peripheral, so you can see a goddamn lion sneaking up on your ass.
Not just in the peripheral, but they said that they've done tests on where they have 2 parallel lines, and one parallel line will move very slightly offline, and when you can recognize it quicker on psilocybin than when you're straight.
Weird.
Yeah. Forget what the scientist was who did that. I should know. I should remember that. But it was one of the things that Terrence had as a part of his theory. But nobody ever took his theory seriously. Everybody completely mocked it and made fun of it, because mushrooms are like an inherently silly thing. If you say you've done them or you think they're important, you're immediately an idiot.
Silly sob, and what'd you go to a Grateful Dead concert and dance on a tapestry, you goddamn hippie?
But what's amazing, it's like it can be responsible for one of the most powerful reconsiderations of your life ever, like a real, true religious experience.
Yeah.
And we're all holding back on all this shit. Because we're trapped in this wonky culture, we're all sort of, at least partially, got the brakes on when it comes to that stuff.
No, they got the brakes on us. We don't have the brakes. The brakes aren't on. We got conditioned. The Reagans put a lot of fucking money into that shit, man.
Yeah.
Like, this wasn't like the administration, of course, not the family, but this was like this is the pharmacological inquisition, as they say.
Yeah.
And it all stems back to the distribution of LSD through the United States, starting with the CIA's experiments to see if they had a truth serum, and the way what psychedelics do to society is that they fucking melt down the boundaries, and when boundaries melt down, it causes a shift, and that shift does not work very well for the way we've run our society for a very long time. And so they recognize that, and they stop that shift, because it's not, but it's important to realize that these brakes are being put on by people outside of us. I mean, if you look at shamanic cultures in the Amazon, this is a endogenous part of their daily life. It's embedded into their culture. It's as normal as having fucking telephones. It's a way to communicate with nature. So this is like, a very essential aspect of being a human being is taking a psychedelic, and it has been for a very long time. And whether or not McKenna's right about the neocortex expanding and when proto-hominids chomp mushrooms, one thing is for certain.
Once we found out about it, we indulged.
What do you mean?
I mean, that's for certain.
Yeah.
But once we found out about it, people have been using them forever.
Bingo. Yes. Yes, exactly. And we know from our own personal experience with them that the effect is not some kind of like ridiculous frat party giggle fest. It's like, if you take the right dose and you do it with the right people and you do it with the right intention, then there will be a massive shift in your consciousness akin to a form of ego death, which allows you to heal and allows you to reacquaint yourself with kind of the living connective energy that is in all things. And that's a very important experience to have.
But it's amazing how well the propaganda works, considering how substantial the effect of the product is. That it's suppressed this incredible, I mean, you would say that in an open market, eventually the cream rises to the top, but it doesn't get a chance because it's cut off and because it's illegal and demonized. This incredible, I don't know, whatever you would call it, experience. Let's call it that. This incredible experience is kept away from you. It's kept away from you. What is essentially a natural experience by eating some things that people have eaten since the beginning of time, and it's kept from you. And it's a shame. It's a shame that you can live your whole life without understanding that there might be some other aspects to this life that we also need to take into our body in order for us to get a better grasp on things. And they might have aided getting us to here. And we might be in a very sick time where we're not using these things. And that's what's responsible for this whole chaotic community that we have. This whole chaotic thing where we're polluting the skies and polluting the ocean, and we will do anything for profit, including invade other countries. We're doing all sorts of really insane, twisted things that are the types of things that would be happening if we were sick, if there was something wrong with us, if we weren't getting our medicine, if we weren't getting we weren't getting what got us to the dance.
Right. Yeah, man. For your spiritual growth, you need to take into your fucking being certain things. Great scriptures, incredible writing, and on occasion a nice fucking mushroom trip. But you got to be careful. You got to be careful not to, like, I feel guilty saying this stuff because some people are you're not supposed to take it, but some people definitely should. You definitely should. It's very important. Goddamn, just went on a hippie rant. Forgive me, my friend.